Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are taking a break from Nordstrom anniversary sale to finally play with some brand new Chanel goodies for fall. So this box has been sitting here on my vanity for the past few days now, just waiting, begging to be opened. So I'm so excited that today is finally the day to dive right in and I can share with you guys what I picked up from the collection. So the entire fall collection is now available only on Chanel.com. It may actually be in Chanel Beauty Boutiques, but it hasn't made its way out to retailers just yet. But it will in the next few weeks. Sometimes it takes months to get there. If you see something that you love and you absolutely cannot wait, then you can use the promo code in the bag, all caps, all one word, for free overnight shipping. That's what I always do whenever I order Chanel, and it never fails. So let me share with you guys what I picked up, because there were a few things that I skipped out on this time around. So when I first saw this collection, the two pieces that really stood out to me, probably the most out of everything, were the Ombre Premier Top Coat eyeshadows. These are two little singles. It's a top coat eyeshadow veil, which sounded really interesting because I don't think I've ever seen something like this from Chanel, and the packaging is a little bit different, so these were just kind of a no-brainer add to cart. And then I also picked up the two eyeshadow quads. So I have 334 Modern Glamour, which is a really beautiful, just smoky eyeshadow quad, and then 332 Noir Supreme, which is very fall forward. Both of these are very vampy, sort of moody palettes, and they just kind of struck me. It's not something that I currently own from Chanel, so I figured why not get them both? They're both very beautiful. I did skip out on the face body gloss because I picked up both of the eye glosses from the Chanel Cruise collection, and quite honestly, I really have to make a concerted effort to work them into my makeup routine. It's not a product that I really grab and gravitate towards. So I can always use those on my face and body if I want to. I don't feel like I need to add a third face gloss product to my collection because I probably just will not use it, even though it does look very pretty. And then lipsticks, I just kind of skipped out on. I purchased a lot of the Charlotte Tilbury Hot Lips 2 collection, which I love, so I figured I'm good for now with those. The lip glosses, oof, they look so beautiful. The dark one comes in the all black packaging, and it's a very deep berry vampy shade, which for me living in Miami, it's just not something that I would wear anytime soon. And then the all white, very crystal looking gloss. Ooh, it looks so beautiful, but I just know the moment I put this on top of a lipstick, it's gonna dirty the wand. It's not gonna stay pristine and beautiful in the tube. And as much as it looks very beautiful, it's something that I'm gonna hold out on. You'll notice with the colors and the packaging that this collection was really inspired by two of the main color codes of the House of Chanel, black and white. They're two absolutes, they're extremes, they're in direct contrast with one another, but these colors are so tied in and sort of interwoven like a Chanel tweed into the fabric and the heritage of the brand. So as soon as I saw the collection, I was just so excited, which I haven't really felt that way about makeup in a long time because I live in such a tropical climate. I feel like I'm always on, summer mode. But when I saw this fall collection, I thought, wow, this is so on brand for so many reasons. Of course, black and white are the colors of the Chanel logo, but beyond that, they were colors that were just very meaningful to Coco Chanel. So she loved to adorn herself with pearls, whether they be real or fake, all the costume jewelry she wore, and she loved pearls because they were reflective and they would reflect light on the face. And black was something that she really made trendy. We take for granted that the little black dress or the little black jacket is something that is just like an instant chic classic. But really before Coco Chanel, people only wore black when they were in mourning. So she was one of these fashion pioneers who made black fashionable. Another little tidbit that I know we learn about in Chanel trainings, but may not be as obvious to other people who are just maybe more casual Chanel lovers or Chanel collectors, is that Chanel was raised in an orphanage. The nuns who raised Chanel actually taught her how to sew, and she was very inspired by even that time in her life growing up. So it's part of Chanel lore that the black and white logo and black and white in Chanel the brand and the fashion house was really inspired by the habits that the nuns would wear, so their tunics and cowls. So the black and white came from her childhood as well. So there's always so many stories, and like I said, everything just kind of is woven and intertwined, and everything just kind of comes full circle and has meaning, which is something that I truly love about Coco Chanel and Chanel makeup, is because everything has a story. Everything is very inspired. So I am wearing a black and white dress today to fit the occasion of black and white, and I'm going to go ahead and create a makeup look using probably the Modern Glamour palette today, but I am going to swatch everything on my arm and open it up. So I'm going to start with 327. This is Penombre. You'll have to pardon my French. It's very bad. So you'll see that even the exterior packaging has that black and white tie-in, which is very cool. And then it's a traditional little black palette, but I'm going to go ahead and open this one to show you the difference. So the second shade is Carte Blanche 317, and this one has, of course, the little velvet protector, but this is an all-white palette. So the two top coats represent lightness and darkness, and they are stunning. So I'm really excited. I have opened these and I photographed them because I'm a freak and I have to properly take photos of every new Chanel product I get, but I have not swatched them. So let's start with this. Ooh. It says on the website that these are intended to be sort of iridescent, so I imagine since it's a top coat, wow, it'll be a little bit sheer. And it does look somewhat sheer, but I'm actually impressed with the color payoff. And now going into 317. Let me use another finger. It's very sparkly, but it's very beautiful. Oh, I'm so excited about this one. Okay. The mirror is huge too. It takes up this entire thing. Wow. Really pretty. It's a frosted white, and this one is almost like a pewter. It's kind of, could be silver, could be gold. And then this one is just undeniably frosty, which is very pretty. So these, I'm assuming, are meant to be, you know, maybe popped in the center of the eyelid or worn on top of other eyeshadows or eye primers, since it's considered to be a top coat. One observation I've made right off the bat is that you can't really build them up. They're never going to be extremely opaque with their shimmer. So they do have great color payoff. I was incredibly impressed whenever I did my first swatch because I expected them to be incredibly sheer. But as I've kind of experimented and swatched and swatched and swatched and tried to build up the color, you really can't. So this is kind of where these eyeshadows max out, which is kind of perfect because it's meant to be a top coat. It's meant to be almost like a sheer veil of shimmer on top of something else. So it's not going to completely cover up whatever it's put on top of, which I think is really pretty. I'm going to begin with Noir Supreme and I'm going to finish with Modern Glamour because that's the palette that I'm going to use to complete my look today. So first I'm going to go ahead and swatch both of these and then I'll kind of create a look. So when you open up the little box, something that I noticed on the inside, there's no little pamphlet, but you get a little card. So it says look 1 and look 2, and it gives you a very basic kind of picture description of how you can use these eyeshadows in case you get home and you're like, what the heck do I do with this? But I will say that on the first look, it tells you to put the clear or the light shade in the crease. And with these palettes, or at least this palette, there really isn't a light shade. So you have almost like this olive green, sort of a burgundy shade. This, I mean, I don't know how I would describe this, maybe like a brown, and then a charcoal. And they're completely flat, so they don't have that rounded mound the way a lot of the baked shadows have, or even I think some of the jet milled eyeshadows, which go on really smooth and heavily pigmented, those have sort of the mound as well. So these are completely flat. They almost look textured. So it's very pretty. It looks like fabric. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch these now. I'm going to go into this olive shade first. And it's always kind of awkward trying to figure out how to do that. But wow, great color payoff. In the pan, I think it looks a little bit more green. On my arm, it just sort of looks sort of brownish, but let's keep going. So I'm gonna do the burgundy next. Woo, that is burgundy. And I am so impressed with the texture of these shadows. I mean, wow, really pretty. Do this color. That is stunning. Really nice. And my little pinky. Ooh, yeah, so that's much more brown. This is, I don't know how to describe that color. It is, I suppose, maybe like a muted gray. And now that I've swatched this dark brown, I can see more of a contrast between the olivey green. Really pretty texture. They're slightly luminous, but more on the matte side. These colors are definitely not for the faint of heart. They are very bold, they're deep, they're moody, they're so much fun. I'm really excited to play around with this palette and come up with several great fall eye looks. So you can definitely count on me for that coming up very soon. But next I'm gonna go ahead and swatch the Modern Glamour palette because I wanna see the two palettes next to each other. That way if you're deciding between one or the other, you can kind of make your decision based on that. So you can open the box and it's the same little card as I mentioned. You have a very basic kind of picture tutorial. And then this is the palette of the two that I was most in love with when I saw it. And it reminds me so much of this Smoky palette. So if you remember Tea Smoky, it may still be available, but I think actually it's long gone. But that is something that was very similar. Not the same, but similar. But I love that you have these two kind of really pretty metallic silver shades, kind of gray, and then you have the white and black. Just direct contrast in your face, no questions asked, just two extreme colors in the same palette, I think is just really cool. So first I'm going into this white shade. I need to see what this is about. Oof, so pretty. And it is sort of a frosty white. It's luminous, it's not glittery. And right below that, this is a really deep gunmetal silver. Very pretty. So that also has some luminosity as well. And then up here in the tippy top corner, this is a really pretty color. It's kind of a softer silver. Oof. And then little pinky, I'm gonna swatch the black, which it looks like is the only matte shade. Yes. So that's kind of a chalky black. I'll be interested to see how that applies on the eye because that is not as black as I thought it would be, which might actually make it a little bit more wearable. But that is the second palette, Modern Glamour. This palette would be perfect for creating really deep, dramatic, smoky eye looks. Today I'm going for more of a daytime look, and of course I already have my foundation and concealer done, so I'm not going to get crazy smoky, but I am going to complete the look. So I'm just taking this eyeshadow brush right here, and I'm going to go into this top. This is kind of the most medium intensity shade in the palette. And I'm going to go in the outer V, outer lid. Just for the sake of dabbling in it, I am going to just do a quick little dab in the black and put this in the outer V. With a flat brush, I'm going into this luminous white shade, and I'm going to put this on the inner lid. I'm very curious to see what this white top coat will look like, so I'm going to pop a little bit of that on top of the white. I'm going to try not to mess this up. I already have a little bit of brown in there. Oh, it just kills me. Oh yeah, there's definitely a difference. I thought whenever I swatched the two, I thought, it's kind of a luminous white. The top coat's a luminous white, but this is more of that really bold shimmer. Very pretty. And I love that it's not glittery either, because it's not chunky, it's not falling all over my cheeks or flaking off everywhere. Really nice. The last step before I finish up with mascara and eyeliner is to take a small precision brush, and I'm going into this charcoal shade right here. So we've now used every shade in the palette, and I am going to kind of softly run this underneath my lower lash line. A little eyeliner, mascara, a bold red lip, and the look is complete. So hopefully you enjoyed that little demonstration. I think playing around with the palette for the first time, just kind of on a whim, creating something in the moment, it was really easy to use. I love the way that the eyeshadows blended and applied. I'm really excited about this collection. I love everything that I picked up, and I feel very confident with the choices that I decided not to get. It's something that, of course, whenever the pieces arrive in store, I will revisit and see if there's something that didn't really strike my fancy on the website, really wows me in person. But I feel like this was the perfect edit to get all of the eyeshadows, because those are really sort of the stars, I believe, of the fall collection. They're so unique, so fun, so out there with their contrast and their deep, moody colors. It's pretty early, but now all we need is Starbucks to come out with their holiday drinks, and we would pretty much be set and ready to move on to the second half of 2019. Ooh, it's hard to believe. I'm honestly not ready, so let's not push it. But I still do love the collection. So that completes my review and little demonstration. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Leave me any of your comments or your questions down below. As always, I will be linking all of the products that I used today on my face down in the description box for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.